At the beginning of the movie, a woman named Robin Monroe is on her way to work at a magazine company in the busy city of New York. Her boss, Marjorie, is upset about some of the company's recent work. The two argue about work-related issues, and suddenly Robin receives a large bouquet of flowers from her boyfriend, Frank Martin. During dinner, Frank surprises his girlfriend with a 6 days and 7 nights trip to a tropical island. The couple arrives on the island, and Robin looks for the charter plane that will take them to their final destination. There she meets the pilot, Quinn Harris, who informs her that the plane they were originally supposed to take is unavailable, so he will be the one flying them instead. Robin expresses concern about the condition of the plane, but Quinn reassures her, insisting that everything is safe. Frank also tries to calm her down, and eventually they both board the plane. Before takeoff, a beautiful woman named Angelica joins them on the flight. After the flight, they arrive at the island resort. That night, Frank reminds Robin that it is their 3rd anniversary since they met, and he takes the opportunity to propose to her. She happily accepts. While Frank steps away for a moment, Quinn attempts to flirt with Robin, making comments about the tourists who visit the island. Later, Robin receives a call from Marjorie asking her to take a work trip to a nearby island, which interferes with her vacation. Reluctantly, Robin agrees to the assignment and looks for Quinn to ask him to fly her there. Although he initially refuses, Quinn eventually agrees when Robin offers him a large sum of money. Back in the hotel room, Frank is upset that Robin is leaving right after his marriage proposal, but she reassures him that everything will be fine. Before leaving, Robin once again expresses her concerns about flight safety, but Quinn assures her that this is the best option. During the flight, Robin shows Quinn part of her magazine work, but soon the weather begins to worsen. Meanwhile, back at the resort, Frank is having dinner when he sees Angelica dancing and becomes captivated by her beauty. Quinn attempts to get a weather update over the radio, but the signal is weak. Deciding not to take any risks, he chooses to turn back toward the resort to avoid the bad weather. Robin takes medication to calm her nerves, but Quinn stops her when he realizes she has taken too much. Suddenly, lightning strikes the plane, forcing Quinn to send out a distress call over the radio. In the middle of the chaos, he becomes angry with Robin over her behavior, but manages to spot a nearby island and makes an emergency landing. They land on the beach, miraculously unharmed. The next morning, Robin wakes up and, after seeing the damage to the plane, asks if it can be repaired. Quinn tells her that it cannot be fixed, and suddenly Robin has the idea of using her phone to call for help, but she quickly realizes there is no signal. After unpacking their supplies, Quinn explains the gravity of the situation to Robin. Additionally, he warns her that they could be trapped on the island for a long time, and Robin demands that he return the money she paid him for the trip. She runs toward Quinn's plane and finds a raft. She wants to use it to leave the island, but Quinn advises her not to. At the resort, Frank receives a call from Marjorie, who asks about Robin. Both Frank and Angelica are very worried about their respective partners and search for information. Meanwhile, on the island, Quinn and Robin go to look for drinking water, continuing their arguments and showing their mutual dislike. Back at the resort, Frank and Angelica meet with the rescue pilot, Tom Marlowe, and his partner, Ricky, to initiate a search and rescue operation. Back on the island, Quinn and Robin traverse the dense jungle. They reach a nearby waterfall, but Robin gets scared upon seeing a wild pig. Robin runs toward the water, but immediately realizes something is wrong. She tells him that a snake has gotten into her pants, and he helps her get it out by throwing it aside. Shortly after, Robin observes how Quinn cuts part of the vegetation, which he then uses as camouflage to hunt some peacocks for food. That night, Quinn prepares dinner with what he hunted during the day. While eating, they begin talking about their pasts, and he tells her how he ended up living on the resort island. Robin makes an insulting comment but quickly apologizes, and they finish dinner peacefully. They wish each other good night. The next day, Robin wakes up after hearing a plane flying overhead. She tries to wake Quinn, but instead grabs the flare gun. As she attempts to fire it, Quinn, half asleep, stops her. Quinn wakes up furious because Robin used the flare unnecessarily. They begin arguing again, blaming each other for the situation they are in. Meanwhile, the search team continues tracking the missing pair. Back on the island, the two decide to climb up to the peak to look for a lighthouse. However, the ground collapses beneath them, and they fall into a cave. They recover and continue their difficult climb until they finally reach the top. Soon, they realize that there is no lighthouse and that they are on a completely deserted island. Quinn expresses his frustration, but Robin tries to keep him focused, telling him that she needs him to stay strong. Suddenly, Robin spots a ship in the distance. Quinn comes up with a plan to reach the ship at dawn, and they both hurry back down the mountain. During the night, they take the life raft and attempt to paddle toward the ship. The next morning, Robin begins asking Quinn about his relationship with Angelica and about any past relationships. Quinn tells her about his ex-wife, who left him for his best friend. At that moment, Robin spots another ship. Quinn realizes that it is a pirate ship. One of the pirates sees them, and they head toward them with the intention of killing them. They manage to escape to shore but are chased by the pirates. Both of them manage to fight off some of the pirates, but eventually they are captured. In a desperate attempt, Robin tells the pirates that they have gold in order to buy time. While being taken away, Robin and Quinn manage to escape. They run until they reach a cliff, where Robin is afraid to jump, but Quinn kisses her and pushes her to do it. They continue deeper into the island until they find an old World War II airplane. Back at the resort, Angelica offers Frank to spend the night in her room, but although reluctant, he turns her down. On the deserted island, Quinn and Robin admit that they have feelings for each other, but Robin says they cannot act on them. Instead, they cuddle together and fall asleep. The next morning, Quinn begins dismantling the old World War II airplane, claiming that he has a plan to get them off the island. Meanwhile, back at the resort, Angelica finds out that the search team will be leaving soon and wakes up Frank, who, as it turns out, spent the night with her. At the same time, Quinn and Robin carry some parts from the old plane downstream to their original aircraft, sharing a few laughs along the way. Quinn manages to lower part of the plane down a small waterfall and calls for Robin to do the same. Meanwhile, Frank is eating with Angelica, regretting and feeling guilty about his infidelity. Suddenly, the resort manager informs them that the search for Robin and Quinn has been called off. On the island, the couple continues gathering the materials needed to rebuild the damaged parts of their plane. They work quickly, tying ropes and wooden pieces to the aircraft to keep it stable. Both of them work energetically together, repairing the improvised plane. Suddenly, the same pirates who had captured them earlier return. The couple hurriedly prepares to escape as the pirates begin firing at them. Quinn is injured and Robin runs to help him. Despite his wounded arm, Quinn manages to climb into the plane and start the engine. Slowly, the aircraft begins to take off over the water while the pirates continue shooting, failing to hit them. In their desperation, the pirates end up blowing up their own boat while trying to shoot down the plane. Once in the air, Robin tries to keep Quinn conscious, but he is losing blood rapidly. Quinn gives her instructions on how to fly the plane in case he loses consciousness. Back at the resort, a memorial ceremony is being held for Robin and Quinn, who have been presumed dead. Frank and Angelica are among the crowd that has gathered to show their support. The resort manager begins to give a speech, but Frank, completely broken, interrupts to ask for forgiveness for his sins. Meanwhile, in the plane, Quinn loses consciousness, and Robin is now alone piloting the aircraft. Angelica comforts Frank, who is consumed by grief, until suddenly they see Robin and Quinn's plane approaching in the distance. Everyone is stunned when they see them arrive, and Robin manages to land the aircraft with a rough landing on the beach. She wakes Quinn and tells him that they are safely back at the resort. Frank approaches Robin and looks for a doctor for Quinn. Afterwards, Frank makes sure that Robin is okay and nervously confesses his guilt over what happened with Angelica. Robin visits Quinn in the hospital and asks him about the nature of their relationship. Quinn tells her that she deserves someone better. Robin gets up to leave, and they both wish each other luck. Later at the airport, Robin and Frank wait for their flight. Robin tells Frank that she does not think they should get married, and he finally confesses his affair with Angelica. Robin admits that they are not truly in love and returns the engagement ring to him. Outside, Quinn runs to find Robin before it is too late. He runs through the terminal and sees the plane he believes Robin is on taking off. He is left alone, thinking he has lost his chance, until he sees her in the distance, having gotten off the plane. Robin sees him, and they finally confess their true feelings for each other, sealing it with a kiss and an embrace.